The price of XRP might suddenly soar to $10,000 as it disappears from exchanges. You could lose out on the greatest opportunity of your life if you don't pay attention to the historic supply crisis we're facing. The reality behind the XRP supply shortage is revealed by the on-chain data I'll show you in this video, along with the reasons why the next significant price movement could propel it to previously unheard of heights. Let's begin by presenting the real facts. Exchange reserves for XRP are rapidly declining according to on-chain data. The quantity of XRP that is accessible on the main exchanges is at an all-time low. It's no accident. The market is intentionally changing. Now only 1% of the whole supply of XRP is still available on exchanges. Yes, exactly. Retail traders have access to just 1%, and it is rapidly dwindling. Why does this matter so much? Because demand will eventually exceed supply once these stockpiles are depleted. At that point, costs will unavoidably skyrocket. But let's take a closer look. Why is this taking place? What's causing this unexpected shortage? More significantly, how will this affect XRP's price over the next few weeks? Now, this is a game of huge stakes and calculated plays, not just individual traders accumulating XRP. We're talking about a degree of play that goes beyond the typical investor, and that's where things become fascinating. Behind the scenes, major players, institutional whales, have been acting. With a single transaction, these titans of finance have the power to change markets. According to rumors, some of the largest names in finance, like BlackRock, are amassing XRP through covert secret transactions. Since these transactions are frequently concealed from the public, it is challenging to determine their genuine motivations. These institutions are well aware of what is about to happen and are getting ready for something significant. Their resources and foresight allow them to predict changes in the market before they occur. They are accumulating enormous volumes of XRP at the expense of the retail market, rather than only purchasing tiny amounts. The strategic goal of this buildup is to control a sizable amount of the supply. Never before have the stakes been so high. The banking industry is about to undergo a significant change. These whales are preparing for a time when XRP will not be easily accessible. They are placing a wager on a situation in which value increases due to scarcity. They're preparing for a supply disruption that might drive up prices. For individuals who own substantial quantities of XRP, this could result in previously unheard of profits. But hold on, why are these whales purchasing XRP at this time? What knowledge do they possess that the typical investor lacks? There are undoubtedly other cryptocurrency assets that are more reputable and well known. Why XRP then? Its strategic advantages and special potential hold the key to the solution. Let's stop for a moment and examine in detail why XRP is such a special and in-demand asset. XRP stands out in the crowded cryptocurrency market thanks to its unique function and utility, in contrast to many other cryptocurrencies that are primarily used as digital currency. There is more to XRP than just another cryptocurrency. It is a payment protocol made for quick and inexpensive international transactions. This indicates that it is extremely efficient and can enable international money transfers in a matter of seconds. It addresses the inefficiencies of the conventional banking system, an issue that banks and other financial institutions have been battling for years. Conventional techniques are expensive, time-consuming, and frequently unreliable. However, XRP provides a simplified option. Unlike SWIFT, which takes days and charges exorbitant rates, XRP can send money across borders in seconds with incredibly minimal expenses. It is a desirable choice for both individuals and corporations because of its quickness and affordability. Let's now address the most pressing issue. Why is XRP attracting the attention of such large financial institutions? XRP isn't just for retail traders, it's becoming a staple for major financial institutions around the globe. These institutions are seeing the potential of XRP to alter the way they manage cross-border payments. And that's where things get interesting. The adoption of XRP by these huge businesses is a game changer, marking a shift in the financial environment. As banks and major organizations continue to use the XRP network, the demand for XRP will continue to expand. This growing demand is a clear indicator of the trust and reliability that XRP brings to the table. The problem is that the supply of XRP on exchanges is drying up. With more institutions buying and holding XRP, the availability for retail investors is decreasing, and when supply is low and demand is high, inevitably rise. For investors and early adopters who see XRP's potential, this dynamic offers a special opportunity. This should sound familiar to you. Let's stand back and examine the past. The same thing happened to Bitcoin in 2020 and 2021. Bitcoin's price soared as its supply started to run out on exchanges. Institutional demand and retail FOMO drove Bitcoin to record highs. With XRP, the same thing might occur. Consider it. What if XRP is following the same trajectory? What if XRP saw a resurgence similar to that of Bitcoin in 2021 over the coming months? It's possible that XRP will see a price explosion in the upcoming weeks as exchanges run out of stock and institutions buy in. Here's where things become very fascinating. Retail FOMO, or the fear of missing out. This psychological phenomenon can drive market behavior in ways that are both fascinating and unpredictable. Once word gets out about the scarcity of XRP, you can bet that retail investors will rush in to grab whatever they can before it's too late. The fear of missing out on potential gains can be a powerful motivator. Similar to the 2021 Bitcoin boom, prices skyrocket as the general public begins purchasing. The price increases as more individuals purchase, creating a feedback loop that can lead to astronomical gains. We've already seen the first signs of FOMO happening in the market, and once that snowball starts rolling, it's going to be hard to stop. Social media buzz and news headlines only add fuel to the fire. Retail FOMO has a massive impact on the price of cryptocurrencies. It can turn a relatively stable market into a frenzy of buying activity almost overnight. Think back to 2017, when Bitcoin surged from $1,000 to nearly $20,000. That was a prime example of retail FOMO in action. That was the outcome of widespread retail interest, fueled by the dread of missing out on what appeared like a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Now, with XRP facing a similar supply crisis and institutional backing, we could see the same kind of price explosion. The combination of retail and institutional interest could be a game changer. But there's one key difference. XRP could have even more explosive potential, considering its unique position in the banking sector. Its utility in cross-border payments and institutional adoption sets it unique. So what can we expect from XRP's price in the next phase of this supply crisis? If retail FOMO joins the party, along with significant institutional demand, we may be looking at a price range of anything between $500 to $10,000 per XRP. I know this might sound odd to some of you, but let's break it down. XRP is already being used by large financial institutions. The true game changer here is that as more institutions accumulate XRP and as retail investors flood in, the supply shock will push prices to unthinkable heights. It's not just speculation, it's based on strong fundamentals and the real-world adoption of the XRP network. Here's the thing, time is running out. Once XRP's reserves on exchanges run low, it's game over for cheap XRP. If you've been waiting for a downturn to get in, you might have already missed the best pricing. The market is moving swiftly, and the window to acquire XRP at present levels is shrinking every day. When XRP is gone from exchanges, it's going to be a completely new ballgame. What will you do now? Will you take advantage of the chance and set yourself up for a huge profit, or will you just watch as XRP takes off? Keep in mind that the supply problem does not occur frequently. This is an opportunity that comes only once in a lifetime. Don't put off getting involved too long. That's it, the supply crisis for XRP is genuine and getting worse. With just 1% remaining on exchanges and whales holding enormous quantities, a historic price spike is imminent. Will you be on the sidelines while XRP soars to unthinkable heights, or are you prepared to seize the opportunity? Make sure to click the subscribe button, activate the notification bell, and leave a comment below with your predictions for XRP's future if you're serious about taking advantage of this amazing opportunity. Additionally, before it's too late, share this video with your friends and other cryptocurrency aficionados. There is not much time left. Do your own research as usual, and keep checking back for more information.